Once again, good afternoon. You are welcome to the second session for this day one of the Kenyan Global um, South Summit. It's been such a very inspiring session that we had in the morning. We've had lots and lots of speakers come speak to us about environmental sustainability. It was really insightful, lots of collaboration opportunities. And personally, I got so much value connected with a couple of people as well on LinkedIn. So if you're joining us for the first time, you are welcome. My name is Ekomo Bongofong, and I'm excited to be the moderator for this event today. Please, I would like you to, while I read the house rules, I'd like you to tell us your name and where you're joining us from. People as well. All right. So just tell us your name and your country where you're joining us from so we get to connect. You could also share your LinkedIn handle and let's connect with each other. So I'll read the house rules quickly. The first thing is this summit is delivered as an open source worldwide platform so all that is spoken here now is being live streamed on YouTube. All right. So we need to reach more people. So this is presently live streamed on YouTube. Also, the sessions are voluntary and no one is paying fees, no one is getting paid to be involved in this summit. We've had speakers from universities, we had a sports enthusiast, a basketballer, and we've had people from different walks of life come speak to us all on their own terms. And also, please make use of the chats to introduce, network, and communicate with other participants. If you need to ask a question, if you need to reach out to any one of us on this call right now, please do well to use the chats. And also raise your hand if you have something to say, if you want to speak, you want to make a contribution, or you have a question to ask, please do well to raise your hand and you are going to be given the floor. This is going to be on the basis of first come, first serve to ensure that you take advantage of that opportunity. Also, it would be good to know that every participant will receive a certificate after this event, all right? Every single participant. But then you would have to complete the feedback form. That's the only time that you qualify. And the feedback form comes after each of the sessions. So after the session, there's going to be a feedback form which you would please be required to fill, and that completing that qualifies you for your certificate. All right. Also, there are going to be 5 breakout sessions. And this is 5 breakout rooms rather. These are going to be created for one-on-one conversations. Room 1 is Dr. Renuka's office, where you get to meet with her and connect with her. Room 2 is Monica's office. You also get to meet and connect with Monica. Room 3 is for the co-host. So in the morning we made availability for 2 co-hosts, and they're also going to be joining us in this session today. And then of course the 4th room is is the social room, where you get to meet yourself, introduce yourself to anybody on the chats that you would want to connect with after now. So ensure that you take advantage of room 4 to connect with people. And then room 5 is the business room. We've had lots and lots of amazing business ideas shared in the first session, the morning session. So you want to take advantage of this particular breakout room to connect with people, to share ideas, and be sure that you get partnerships from these conversations. And of course, lastly, finally and not least, I am very pleased to welcome you to this afternoon session of the first day of this summit. Please make yourself comfortable. And just before I go, ensure that you have your real names. Ensure that you're joining the meeting with your real name. Please, if you don't have your real name, do well to rename your Zoom account so that we know exactly who we're interacting with. Without further ado, I would now hand over to Dr. Enuka. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ikomobang. Hopefully, I will be able to spell your name, pronounce your name properly by the end of this summit.
Thank you.
For that. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining this second session on community empowerment. That is the basic purpose of Gsfn. So I would like to tell something more about it. We are challenged by this climate change and also to achieve, sustainable development goals. And every nation, the government or national entities are trying to put their contribution towards this commitment, which they have agreed through COP and other, high-level global policies. And they have come to agreement that they should contribute towards this. However, the biggest challenge is that how they can reach out to the community. And here we are doing a grassroots level engagement so that everyone can engage with this dialogue and contribute to sustainable development goals. So those who don't know what is sustainable development goals, they were initiated, they were reformed, reformed from the Millennium Development Goals to Sustainable Development Goals in 2015. And we have 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And essentially, nearly 80 million people were engaged in forming these sustainable development goals. So you can see the capacity of it in a sense that they were created by the people and for the people, and they are of the people. So we must engage and understand what are SDGs and how they impact our lifestyle or our livelihood or our society, and how we can make the contribution. Just to give an example, how you can relate and how you can understand. If you read the news, any type of news, you will find that, okay, there is some problem of security, or there is some problem of woman equity, or there is some problem of some hazardous event or destructions due to events that are extreme events like droughts, flooding, and so on. And you will hear this news all the time in the newspaper or from other channels. What does essentially this mean? That we have to take care of addressing these problems. And if you go deep into those problems, you will understand that they all relate to either one or the two or many of SDGs. So if I take an example of, say, extreme weather, then it directly associated with SDG 13, which is climate change. Because of the global warming, we are experiencing these extreme climate impacts, and so we must take care of it. However, what has happened that the the global warming is due to the greenhouse gas emissions that are highly emitted or traditionally emitted by the developed countries. And the extreme weather impacts are experienced by the vulnerable countries or low income and medium income countries, because they do not have that infrastructure to address it, as well as they are felt those impacts more than developed countries. Of course, developed countries are also having those problems, but they can address it because of the resources they have in place. So here, what is happening that it is also impacting, climate injustice, and along with that, when there are impacts of climate change, you come across other problems such as food security, destruction of your environment, displacement of your house, and so on. You might also come across um, losing your jobs, and it will impact your livelihood and so on. And when such countries, when they are dealing with actually improving their development pathways, or when they are struggling to understand how they keep their living up and enjoy the living, they are less concerned about addressing climate change. So here, there are so much overlapping problems due to greenhouse gas emissions and climate change, and that we have to understand this complexity and make sure that we introduce like we expose ourselves to such a solution or thinking that can allow us to address these problems and bring out some alternative pathways that could be better for the society, and also to contribute to the national contribution, saying that we are trying to diminish the impact of carbon emission, as well as increasing our capability to understand the future scenarios and being ready to address them and co-create sustainable future for us and everyone. Having said that, I would like to later on invite Monica to speak on this. But before that, I would like to show you a video of Gsfn where I explain our vision and purpose. So please allow me to share that with you. Despite very significant development gains globally, which has raised many millions of people out of absolute poverty, there is substantial evidence that inequality between the world's richest and poorest countries is widening. Today, the world has become more complex, and poorer countries have experienced significant economic and social development. However, the inequalities within countries have also been growing, and some commentators now talk of a global north and global south, referring respectively to richer and poorer communities which are found within and between countries. There are many causes of these inequalities, including the availability of natural resources, different levels of health and education, the nature of country's economy and its industrial sectors, international trading policies and access to markets, how countries are governed and international relationships between countries, conflict within and between countries, and a country's vulnerability to natural hazards and climate change. So, most importantly, researchers are called upon to address the barriers to climate science in the global south. These culturally diverse nations of global south are united by common threats to their sustainable futures. Challenges faced in creating collaborations, partnerships across national borders and academic disciplines. Through Global Sustainable Futures Progress Through Partnership Network, we want to play a leading role in creating an inclusive, collaborative, innovative, and engaging platform for early career researchers and like targeted stakeholders, including startups and entrepreneurs, supported by experienced senior researchers and business leaders, where everyone can share in their research, innovation, visualization, and enthusiasm in parallel to network success. Our fundamental objective is to create a strong research environment, building to a multidisciplinary and multisectoral team of endogenous professionals that would be capable of pursuing and utilizing participatory and integrative approaches in solving public and environmental sustainability problems. Therefore, our priorities are empowering and capacity building, working with researchers to empower communities and individuals, increase independence and support to those who need it, give researchers and stakeholders the legacy of sustainable practices, fair and inclusive, improve economic and social and environmental equality, pursuing development which offers fair distribution and access to good quality life and working conditions. Networking and engagement provide an innovative and global-wide platform to make global sustainable futures progress through partnership network, an effective and well-connected network, transforming traditional society systems to more sustainable systems. And above all, it is sustainability. So, co-create sustainable and resilient development pathways to secure sustainable futures for all and everyone. So, the key focus is mobilization and engagement, building a community of practice, creating a strong leadership, and producing a critical mass of good practices. 800 coordinators from 105 countries have joined me. So I also call upon you to join us and co-create sustainable futures together. Thank you very much for listening to me. This was just 6 months after I started Gsfn, so we had only 800 coordinators. Today we have 7,000 coordinators around 165 countries. Actually, I wanted to just reflect on what I mean by capacity building and why I have chosen this voluntary path and to engage with people, and why I call it progress through partnerships. Today, you see this event happening due to partnership between each and every one of us. Here, we can count on individuals who have come and partnered with us, but also the organizations and universities who are looking forward to partner with such a cause. I have seen plenty of traditional examples of capacity building where people get grant from somewhere and international organizations come and build something. But what I have experienced that they are all time bound. They are time bound and limited. Something happens, but very, very few or very rare cases have gone to become resilient and sustainable. And so if we want to become resilient and sustainable in all our activities, I think we should build our capacity in a way that it should continue without any foreign investment or as such. And so I am looking here to, sharing our expertise, sharing our, common goals where each and everyone can contribute and aspire, become prosperous in properties that we have rather than material property, okay? I mean, we should be prosperous in our knowledge, prosperous in our capacity of knowing what is going to happen in future and how we can address those problems. And if we want to do that, we need to have scientific outlook. There are plenty of myths and plenty of fake stories going on, and we should be able to understand what is fake, what is wrong, what is right, and make our own decisions. And therefore, we need to become researchers in ourselves. And that should, today, what we eat, what we drink, or I mean, what we wear, everything needs research. Everything needs to be understood, that is it going to impact me, how it is going to impact me, how it is going to impact the society, how it is going to impact the environment, and so on. So I believe that that real sense we should be creating. Secondly, sustainability is a fashion word at the moment, but we want to make it mainstream. We want to have the highest value in whatever we think, and that should be multidimensional sustainability. And again, it must be in the context of your own cultural and cultural situation, I think, cultural situation. And that's why we had now, since this 2024, we are doing global summits. First month, like January, we had Pakistan, and Pakistan local people came up saying that soil is the biggest issue in our country, and therefore we stemmed the dialogue and discussion from the soil perspective. In Egypt, we were not able to do the full summit, but we did part of it from the Empower Her project, which we had won the grant. And so it was again a Gsfn collaboration. Within Gsfn, we found each other, and we partnered with, Arab Academy of Science, Maritime, and Technology in Egypt. And we got a grant, and we facilitated Empower Her project, which was a real success again. At that time, we also got a chance to connect with UNESCO, where they invited me to be one of the panelists in their panel discussion as well. So I think our concept of community development or empowerment is really accepted by the people, but we need more and more of this to be done. And this month, as CDS Kenya found that women empowerment, youth empowerment, and agricultural resilience is three of their main issues in Kenya, and therefore we came up with these concepts. So I really want local people to come up with their issues and make contribution to the national contribution directly related to their own national contribution, so that they can show off. Also, one another thing was that within this summit, what we are trying to do, as one of the speaker already spoke, and Professor Bisnu also spoke, we are inviting them to speak, but at the same time, we are asking them to roll out a program to support others, and also to expand on their initiative throughout the global south. And therefore, do not please feel free to engage with all those who speak here, and that is why they are writing their email addresses and contact details and all. And you are also given access to the Excel, where everyone's this email addresses and contact details are already there. So please take advantage of going through it and engaging with each other. And that only will be possible, we will be possible to support each other. So having said that, I will now give floor to Monica. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon and good evening if you are somewhere else, not in Kenya. And good morning if you are in UK. So, as I mentioned already in the previous session that I am a part of community development and sustainability organization. I work there as a program director, and it is a privilege to address such a dedicated and a passionate audience committed to the noble cause of education, health, sustainability. At CDS, our mission is clear. We foster positive change and sustainable development within the community across Kenya. And we believe in transformative power of education and importance of accessible healthcare, um, and importance of good environment through our diverse project and initiative. We strive to make a tangible difference in lives of those we serve. As we look ahead to coming this year and beyond, I am filled with the optimism and enthusiasm for the goals and objective that lies ahead, particularly realm of girls' education and community engagement. Education is not just a fundamental right; it is a very important part of empowerment, progress, and social change. By prioritizing girls education, we not only invest in the future of individual students but also in prosperity and well-being of the entire communities. Through our comprehensive program and strategic partnership, we are working tirelessly to ensure that every girl in Kenya has access to quality education, regardless of socioeconomic status or geographic location. From building schools and classroom to providing scholarship, mentorship opportunity, we are breaking down barriers and creating pathway to success for next generation of female leaders. But our work does not stop there. Community engagement lies at the heart of everything we do. We understand that sustainable development cannot be achieved in isolation. It requires collaboration, partnership, and empowerment. As Dr. Renuka mentioned right now, that through this summit, we are looking for more involvement, more collaborations and partnership and empowerment at grassroots level. That is why we are committed to working ahead hand in hand with local communities. Because I've seen in previous session, there are many organizations and individual who are involved in similar kind of work. So I would be more than happy if they join hands with us or we together as a team, if we can do something good for our community. Since we are focusing in the second part of today's session mostly on community development part, so I am focusing there uh, more. So together we have the power to create positive change, to uplift communities, and to build a brighter future for generations to come. As we embark on this journey together, let us remain in our commitment to excel, integrity, and compassion. Let us harness the power of collective action and collaboration to overcome challenges. Let us not lose sight of profound impact of our work can have on the lives of those who need it the most. So, with this thing, I want to quickly share a small collaborations which we have done in past so that you will have a brief idea about our collaborations. Like, if as you can see in my screen, we are partners with United Nations volunteers. So through this, I just want to convey people who are from universities and they are still student and they are looking for work as volunteers and join our organization for their internship or work experience. They can definitely join and take advantage of this opportunity. We have few projects with the United Nations Women. There we are giving training for peace and security. And we have collaboration with the Ministry of Education of Kenya in Bungoma County. So yeah, we have a partnership with a renowned organization over here. So through this, I think we can make a very big and very effective team where we can really give a good impact to the society, especially in Kenya. And this I have already mentioned before, but people who are new, who are not there in the last segment, I want to just share again with you all that we have done projects and we are continuously doing these projects in menstrual health. We are distributing sanitary pads, United Nations Women Partnership. So here CDS International Kenya office partners with UN Women. And since 2020, peace training, we have conducted DIFD funded session for police chiefs and women, medical outreach. We have treated more than 1,000 patients, and the numbers are high because this is the last year data. Then educational support, we are supporting 30 schools in Western Kenya. Agriculture aid, we are having supported capacity building for coffee farming in Western Kenya. Then water project, we have done project in Bungoma County for clean water. Ministry of Education, this I have already mentioned that we are partners with Ministry of Education for 100% transition from primary to secondary school, and we are supporting 30 schools here. So yeah, these are the main things I wanted to reshare again, so that new people can have idea that what all areas we are working currently. And I really welcome you all, whosoever wants to join, collaborate in whatever capacity they can help and support community around Africa, Kenya, across Africa. You're most welcome. And I will share my WhatsApp number and LinkedIn handle one more time for all of you to just connect with me. Thank you so much.
Thank you very, very much, Monica. Thank you. Thank you. And if you listen to that, please do well to connect with her and take advantage of all of the opportunities. Thank you so much for all you do, Monica. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to be going right into the discussion session for this afternoon. Like I mentioned, if you joined us in the morning, we talked about environmental sustainability, and we had speakers from different walks of life coming to speak to us, sharing their thoughts, sharing their solutions, sharing their collaboration opportunities that they have. So this afternoon, we're going to be talking about community empowerment. We also had a couple of people in the morning who said they were looking forward to this session because of the things that they're looking out to do in their own individual communities. So you'd want to ensure that you pay rapt attention. And if you have a discussion, if you have anything to share with us, please do well to let us know in the chats ahead of time so that we're going to call on a basis of first come, first serve, right? So do well to let us know in the chat your name, your university, and what it is that you want to talk about. All right. Also, if you want to share a PDF while you're speaking, you want to have a presentation, please do well to drop the PDF in the chat as well so that we can proceed. Thank you very much again. So we're going to be handing over right now to the co-hosts. I need to confirm if they're here. Dr. Renuka, are they both here yet?
I think we can go with Kausar Kudarut, who has volunteered to speak now on empowerment via agriculture and so on. So let us welcome them.
Thank you
Okay,
very much.
okay.
Can I share my screen as well while I'm speaking, please?
Sure. Please introduce yourself first and then continue your activity. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kausar Kudarat. I am from Mauritius. I am a life and business coach. I am the founder of Mount View Residential Care Home in Mauritius, and I am the founder of Kausar Life Choices Limited, now working with One Planet Education Network to support apiculture in various communities. We work to enhance and enliven the education experience of students where apiculture is concerned through sensors and AI technology. We find ways to empower existing farmers with the latest information, remedial actions possible, and with the most advanced equipment in the market. So now I will share my screen. Thank you. Share screen. I'm having a small issue sharing my screen. New share, okay. Yeah. Please bear with me a second. So desktop, here we are. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, that's great. So why apiculture? Do we need to be an agriculture student to be interested in bees? Do we need to be studying plants only to be interested in bees?
Can I stop a minute for you? Like your screen, we can see two screens. So yes, please do.
Okay.
Yeah, now this is correct. But if you want to put it in a slideshow.
I don't think this
Okay,
is
don't
possible.
worry. This is okay. Don't worry. Carry on, please.
Okay, thank you. So here we are. We are on empowerment via apiculture, sensors, and AI solution, and together with One Planet Education Network. So why apiculture? Do we need to be an agriculture student to be interested in bees? Do we need to be studying plants only to be interested in bees? My answer is no. When the welfare of the planet is concerned, when food security is concerned, when poverty is concerned, the whole world has to assess the importance of bees and take necessary actions. It has often been said that bees are responsible for 1 out of every 3 bites of food humans eat. Most crops grow, including vegetables such as squash, cucumber, tomato, eggplant, nuts, seeds, fibers such as cotton and hay grown to feed livestock, require pollination by honeybees. Imagine a world without coffee. Or if caffeine isn't your thing, what about a world without apples, berries, cherries, aspirin, pumpkins, carrots? So the list is very long and it can go on and on. So many of what we consume are dependent on bees. For the past decades, there have been many research and studies that demonstrate the importance of honeybees in our food supply. Reports and surveys suggest that bees have been impacted mainly by use of pesticides, intensive farming practices, habitat loss, climate change, rising temperature, varroa mites, and other invasive species. The agricultural sector is the backbone of the economy in many African countries. The foundation of many social and economic successes are in nurturing the best practices where agriculture is concerned. This major focus in the agricultural sector will empower farmers, eradicate poverty, and create employment for decades to come. Africa has the potential, with adequate labor, both women and youth, to flourish the beekeeping sector. The most common problems faced by farmers are climate change, pests and diseases, soil degradation, access to markets, lack of financial resources, outdated technologies and equipment. Could bee farming solve farmers' problems to a great extent? Bee farming is a first step and less expensive means for struggling farmers to secure an income without requiring large investments. It is low maintenance and rapid return on investment within as little as 3 months. Now, what does a beehive produce? Many people, they know only about honey. But it is good to know that the beehive produces other products like bee pollen, royal jelly, beeswax, propolis, bee venom, all collected and used by people for various nutritional and medicinal purposes. It is good to know that with only 10 beehives, a farmer can start a comfortable journey into bee farming. An efficient, healthy colony that's thriving may build its hive within 1 month. A healthy swarm can produce up to 50 kilos of honey a year, together with the other products I have mentioned. So the guaranteed profitability of this business for many farmers. So at Kelsar Life Choices, our mission is to empower rural farmers to establish their bee farms and improve overall agricultural practices. We believe bee farming is the stepping stone towards a healthier and more sustainable agricultural sector. We aim to create various stations in Kenya, and we have started in Bungoma, and beyond to better serve farmers in different regions. We will not only train people to set up their bee farms, but we will also assess their present situations and discover the challenges community-wise, location-wise they face where agriculture is concerned. We look forward to join forces with other bodies, authorities, organizations, which can contribute to reduce the threats farmers face to reach the best practices in agriculture. Together with One Planet Education Network, we work with sensors and AI to best serve our communities. Sustainable agriculture is a type of agriculture that focuses on producing long-term crops and livestock while having minimum effects on the environment. A sustainable food system is one that does not require chemicals, conserves energy and water, emphasizes local production, decreases inputs, and utilizes resources more efficiently on site, values biodiversity and ecology, and works within our global natural resource limitations. When we are talking about sustainable agriculture, we have to take the following principles into consideration. The needs of the people. We have to provide nutrient-rich food for farmers, for farm families, for communities. We have to help to maintain good public health. but we also have to improve the quality of life in those rural areas. We need profit. A farming operation must be profitable, or it will go out of business very quickly. Farming practices must be ecologically sound, promoting healthy biodiversity and sensible management of natural resources. There are many benefits of sustainable agriculture. Sustainable agriculture strives to help the environment by reducing agricultural runoff, preventing pollution of lakes and rivers, saving water, naturally maintaining soil fertility by recycling nutrients on farm, enhancing carbon sequestration by soils and perennial vegetation, promoting energy efficiency of farming operations, decreasing emissions of air pollutants and greenhouse gases, creating habitats for pollinators and beneficial insects, ensuring welfare of farm animals, and providing space for the respectful coexistence with native wildlife. Some examples of sustainable farming methods are permaculture, biodynamic farming, hydroponics and aquaponics, urban agriculture, agroforestry and food forests, polycultures and crop rotation, heirloom and other varieties, natural animal raising, natural pest management, mulching, and manual wheel control. So how does a bee farm make the difference? First of all, increase pollination and yield in plants. Honeybees play a significant role in the pollination of many fruits and vegetables. So introducing beehives to a farm will increase the pollination rate and the yields of plants. Bees can also contribute to the survival of wild species. Many species of wild plants depend on insect pollinators. Bees are responsible for the production of many seeds, and these seeds, berries, nuts serve as vital food source for wild animals. Now, as pollinators, bees play a part in every aspect of the ecosystem. They support the growth of trees, flowers, and other plants, which serve as food, shelter for creatures, large and small. During our programs, we will encourage the growing of resistant plants. Farmers will be encouraged to have flowers that will help in the bee farms to prosper, such as sunflower, lavender. We will help in the development of bee gardens with low maintenance flowers with the help of AI technology. We will encourage native plants to restore the flora in various places. Together with honey production, we will help farmers diversify their businesses. An example is a flower business, oil business, and many more. There is a very big women workforce in the rural areas in Africa, and in many countries, this workforce remains untapped. It is an untapped power that can easily adopt apiculture and make this industry a flourishing one in that country. With One Planet Education Network, we wish to seize this opportunity to educate women to apply the best practices. We bring knowledge to the farms. We bring education to the farms. These women will not only earn more income, but will in turn empower the future generations. Dear ladies and gentlemen, let us believe in a greener and more productive Africa together. We are the foundation for a better and stronger generation. Thank you very much. And thank you, Dr. Takul, for this platform, for this opportunity.
Thank you so, so, so much, Kausa. I hope I got that correctly, though.
Yes, yes, you did.
Thank you very much. That was really, really beautiful, particularly when we get to contribute to women development. I feel like it's the hub of societal improvement. Thank you so much. Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. I'm so happy to be with you today. Thank you.
Thank you. Please, does anybody have a question for Kausa before she leaves
I have a
today?
comment. Brilliant presentation,
Okay.
very clear and very enthusiastic. So thank you very much
Thank
for
you
being
so
with
much.
us. I was
Pleasure.
talking to your CEO and founder of Open, and I think he is having a eye surgery today, and so he's
Yeah.
not present here. And I mentioned him that, oh, Kausar is speaking on our platform, and he was very glad. And we are
Yes.
very glad to have you here, and very passionate presentation. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you. My pleasure. I'm looking forward. We have so
Sure.
many projects coming.
Sure. And I would like to just announce everyone also that Open is going to have some demonstrations and all incoming events. So please stay tuned with us. Thank you. I saw someone raised their hand. I think they have lowered their hand. Does anyone want to ask any question? No, so I think that's okay. Please continue there. Here. Jordanos, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, it's very interesting PowerPoint and very motivational for climate and environmental protection. Thank you, Kara. My question is, in your PowerPoint, I see about technological advancement. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can. Jordanos.
So,
I can.
technological,
Looking back at yes.
Okay, technological advancements on agriculture,
Yes.
like AI, how can we integrate artificial intelligence to rural community or the farmers? How can we, even when we are talking about technology to unlearned people, it seems difficult. So how can we integrate?
So we are relying a lot to work with organization to create some stations, to act as models first, where we will demonstrate the use of those AI, and there will be training. We are looking forward to have funding. We rely on we will rely a lot on funding for these projects. And slowly, we will bring that technological aspect where people will be able to follow the farm activities from their phones, as easily as that. And slowly, it will be a long-term project, but we will have to do it step by step. And tomorrow, there will be my CEO who will go more in depth about the sensors and the AI technology. More in-depth details will be shared with you tomorrow. So there is a big team behind setting up to eventually have the farmers adopt. But we believe by creating those stations and then expanding to farmers slowly, we will reach a point where many people will adopt it, where we will go mass production for these sensors, and these technologies will be adopted by millions of people. I hope that I have addressed your question.
Thank you. I think it would be mainly on a practical way, hands-on practical they give in the classes, and also they focus on young people who carry out the message to the family and friends of in their community. So we'll get a nice demonstration tomorrow. So just stay tuned in. And also, if you are not able to attend, we are going to record the session so you can have listen to it later. We have one hand raised by Dandy. Please take the floor. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Dandy. I'm joining you from Nigeria. And Corsa, I hope I got the name right.
Yes. Hello, Dandy.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine. I was intrigued knowing for the first time what B does to renewable energy in terms of sustainability of our climate. I never knew that, and I'm happy to hear that. I am into renewable energy and I work with green plants. What I do is reduce the carbon content in reduce carbon content by esterification so as to produce biofuels. So I would really, really love to work with you to see how the beehives can also add some importance in reducing global warming. So my question is this.
Well,
In
yes.
working with green plants, how does the beehive help us to reduce greenhouse emission? Because knowing that will also assist me in working on my biodiesel production. Because working with chemicals also is not a good thing. We're looking for a way to also reduce. So if beehives can do that, then would love to improve and work with you and see how we can work better. So I would really would love to know that. Thank you. How does the bee help in reducing greenhouse emission in the farm? Thank you. I don't know if the question was clear. Am I being heard?
Yeah, can I intervene? Your question is quite clear that how beehive can directly contribute to reduction of carbon emissions. This was I think I understood, right?
Yes,
Yes,
doctor.
how it can play a role in reduction of carbon emissions. I don't know the direct answer, but what I understand by the beehive and like why we are having a beehive. Beehive is bees are indicators of biodiversity, right? Like if you have bees around you, meaning that you have a high diverse biodiversity and rich diversity behind you. And if you have a rich biodiversity, that means that you have less carbon emissions because you have more carbon plants and your biodiversity to hold that carbon, as well as it can act as a natural basin to address your climate change extreme events. So possibly I am a carbon calculator person, but I haven't gone into that research. And it would require each and every data collection to understand if it exactly contributes to reduction of carbon emission. As I said, beehive and other are the indicators of biodiversity. Growing biodiversity will definitely reduce carbon emissions, but at what point and what year and how many plants we need and all that is still not clear. We need to have methodologies and data around those things. And we are going to work actually with Open to work on these areas, especially on, collecting data on carbon emissions and trying to understand the difference between the process and practices that impact the reduction in carbon emissions. And that only can inform us. So yes, it can contribute to reduction of carbon emission. I don't know exactly when and how. How I think indirectly by increasing the biodiversity, which can lessen our impacts of climate change and so on. So until that I know, I won't be able to give you more answers, but I think that there is a way to understand. There are few.
It's fine. The reason it's fine. The reason for asking is the fact that the beauty of our presentation just gave a new line to a new research in terms of the carbon reduction in terms of the environment. So that's what I just wanted to add. If she has a clue, then fine. If she doesn't, then we have a new research in our hands to work with. Thank you.
We'll be happy to work in Nigeria with you, Dandy, and see how we progress.
It's no problem then.
For the
I'm
best
very
result.
open. I will do this. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very, very much, Kosa. Thank you. Thank you. I believe that will be it for
There is one hand raised
questions.
by Kabine Moses.
Okay, Moses, please go ahead.
Yes, good afternoon from Sierra Leone.
Good afternoon, Moses.
Yes, the presentation was good. Like my company, we are concentrating in agriculture, empowering women. It's just an appeal for the presenters to extend their operation to West Africa, especially Sierra Leone, where agriculture is a priority for now. And our president agenda is about feed Sierra Leone, feeding the people of Sierra Leone. And by and large, we are there thinking for possible donors so that we can able to accomplish the dream of the president. Let them be rest assured. That is why we joined Search Forum to look for donors, to look for partnership, and look for a learning point how we can empower women, and especially my company deal with 100 people, and women are 75% in the group who are the peasant farmer, and how can we change their mentality from mixed cropping to agro-business or mechanized farming. That is how we are doing with them. But we really need support from other experts, other organizations that have done it. Like when my colleagues was talking about how we can improve on AI in terms of agriculture and money. So like we are open to partner with them so that we can learn and they will come to Australia and share their experience with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Moses.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Moses, please lower your hands if you're done speaking. Thank you. All right. So there was this question in the this other presenter. Samson Were. I hope I got that correctly.
1 second.
Hey.
Enoch has raised some concern that yes, issue of networking is of great challenge and using AI system is also a big challenge. Yes, we are trying. I completely understand that while we are struggling to have enough internet or enough, connectivity, while we are having even internet, then we certainly we have challenges for AI and so on. So probably there are the ways that we can also collect the data locally, and then when we have online facility, we can update that data on online repository. So that is also we are working on, and there are a few things like that. So yeah, thank you for raising that concern. There is one hand raised by Professor Khaled Ahmed from Egypt. So please take the floor.
Okay.
Yes, hello, thank you. I'm so sorry first for the camera. I have trouble today in the internet. I'm so sorry for that. First of all, I want to thank Dr. Renuka for this opportunity to be here in this summit. And also I start with Dr. Renuka this year, from the beginning of this year, it's really amazing global events in this year. I attended with her. I much appreciate her. I start in Pakistan, and then Egypt, and then now in Nigeria, and now in what's this country now? It's so sorry. It's
Kenya.
Oh, sorry, Kenya. Yes, because I interested to attend in Nigeria. I focus for this also. About Kenya, actually, I'm so happy to be here, and also I did my registration as a speaker, and I will speak about my project. I don't know, it's not time, or later I will share. But just I want to thank Mrs. Kausar about the presentation. Just I want to share to her that I have the same project also in digital learning. I have a new system of learning, multilingual and computer science and music curriculum that's also using AI. Maybe we can also grow with Africa future. We can contact, we can create something like this, because I'm also focused for AI and digital learning to grow with our family in all African countries. It's my pleasure now, and also I hope I have chance soon or later to share my project. Thank you. That's
Thank you
about
very much, sir. Thank you. It will be a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Ahmed. You definitely get the opportunity to share. Definitely.
Do we
Thank
have
you.
any other speaker now present here? Has anyone expressed?
Yes, Samson hasn't spoken yet.
Okay, let Samson speak, and then we can invite Khaled.
Okay. All right. Samson, if you're there from Maseno University, please go ahead and speak.
Sorry to interrupt. I have a small question.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the question from Kausar, that I wanted to ask about the implementation part of your project. Is bees must have access to clean water for breeding as well as regulating the temperature inside the hive. So there is a biggest challenge of clean water in rural part of Kenya where you can implement your project. So how you cope up with that particular thing if you are having a project or you are planning more projects in a rural part of Kenya?
We will customize the project according to what's available around us. And this concern was raised, and it is also being done in Bungoma, where we are making sure that water that's near, that's available, is clean. And we have some methods, we have experts in various fields that will accompany those people and propose the best solution in that situation.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We're going to have Samson join us. Yeah, trying to. Okay, Samson, are you there, please? Wondering why my video keeps turning the other way. Samson, are you there? I don't think
Yes,
Samson
he
is.
is there, but probably he is not responding. He is here.
Oh yeah, I can't see him. Okay,
Um,
Stacy,
let me.
Stacy, are you ready? Yes, Stacy sent me a message.
Okay.
I don't know if she's ready now. Stacy, are you ready now? Oh,
Hi.
Samson. Okay.
Oh, is Samson ready?
Okay.
I will go
Yes, please hold
after.
on a second. Please hold on. All right, Samson, if you can hear me, please go ahead. Samson, are you there? Or you could type if you, so we know what state you're in now. All right, so while we wait for Samson to get ready, Stacy, please go ahead. Stacy, are you there?
Hi. Yes,
All
I'm
right.
here.
Hi.
Hoping that you all can see me and hear me. Good
Absolutely.
morning and afternoon, because I know we're joining from all over. So my
Good
name is
afternoon.
Stacey Ann Wilson, and I'm joining from Jamaica. So it's really early. Well, not really early here. I've been up early. And I'm happy to be here to speak on community empowerment. I'm the founder of ODEM Foundation, and we are a nonprofit organization, and we do work in Jamaica. And in the past, I've also done work in Trinidad and Tobago, right? So I'd like to talk about some funnels for community empowerment. Now, I know there are some thematic areas when we talk about community empowerment that are really important, not just to the Caribbean, but across all nations. And most times when people speak of community empowerment, we speak about peace and security, obviously, farmers and capacity building, clean water, and rural development. And I want to touch on this morning that when we put all these plans in place to look at these areas that need to be addressed, we also have to look at what will make each one of these projects successful. So if you're looking at peace and security, what are the things that are needed to ensure that it is successful and sustainable? So it's not that you just get funding, you do a one-off project, and then that's it. Also, if you're looking at farmers and capacity building, what are the things that you need to look at to ensure, again, that your plans to work with farmers are sustainable? And that's the angle I want to take my presentation from, because I've realized in doing community work that there are some funnels that are extremely, extremely important to ensure that everyone in the community is engaged, and the people that you want to benefit from the programs that you're implementing, they benefit, and you're able to sustain that program. Right. So as I said, I'm the founder of ODEM Foundation. ODEM Foundation is a nonprofit organization, and we believe that we're charged with the mandate of contributing to community and nation building through charitable initiatives. So these initiatives can be anything really that works for the community. So it can be women empowerment, it can be something in agriculture, it can be something in technology. The foundation was born out of the need to assist individuals, community-based organizations, nonprofits, and schools, and other social organizations in furthering their work. So most of the work we do, it would be in collaboration with the community at the grassroots levels. So presently we have a project in the Waterhouse community, that's a poor community in Jamaica, and we are working with them to have access to technology for homework and for women who don't normally have access to computer facilities and technology. Right, so our vision is to create sustainable communities through the development and implementation of social change programs. And our mission is to partner with as much nonprofit and civic society organizations as we can in ensuring that those programs are successful, right? In terms of our objectives, we've set our objectives around different SDG goals. So one of our SDG goals would be to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and to promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. So when we go into a community and we're working with them, we know that knowledge is powerful. And so we'll try to implement programs that will look at how we can share knowledge in the community, how we can develop women, and also, develop anyone in the community that can benefit from our program, right? This might be done through providing quality education to people no matter where they are, or it can be done through just ensuring that their basic rights are met. So they have books and the educational tools that they need, right? We also support SDG Goal 5, and this is to achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls. We've just come out of a webinar where we spoke about what it means to invest in women. And so a lot of our work will be with women and girls. We are currently looking to support a children's home in Manchester, in Jamaica. And we have a program that is particularly geared at the girls who are orphans. In Sealots in Trinidad and Tobago previously, I also worked in another poor community, and we worked with the women there to establish businesses, to register their own businesses. So that's a little bit of a background of ODEM Foundation. Right, so now I want to touch on my topic, on what I want to speak on today. And I've labeled my topic Funnels of Community Empowerment. And I think there are 4 funnels that we always need to keep in mind. So it doesn't matter if the program is geared at peace and security, rural development, clean water, farmers' capacity, whatever your program is, I think there are some crucial funnels that you have to look at in creating that program and also in ensuring that communities that you introduce these programs to, they're engaged, right? And the first one I want to touch on is community engagement. I'll call that my first funnel. And if we are to impact communities and implement programs that are sustainable, then we have to ensure that the community that we're reaching, that community is engaged. So if in Kenya you are reaching communities, farming districts, etc., I am suggesting or recommending or finding that the best practice would be to ensure that the people on the ground that will benefit, they form a part of the program development, right? So in terms of community engagement, they should share in the participation, the collaboration, and the ownership of the project to ensure that it will be sustainable, right? And this can be done by building trust and relationships. And it means that external stakeholders, such as other NGOs, government agencies, need to actually visit the community, meet with the people that are going to be benefiting before the program starts. So leading up to the program, various research can be done on the ground, as well as maybe doing activity days that you actually get to know the people who will benefit, rather than sometimes an NGO turning up in that community and wants to begin work, but you haven't formed a bond or a relationship with the persons that should benefit, right? As a part of community engagement, the needs and the assets need to be clearly identified. And this can be done through town hall meetings, where community members get to voice their needs and their concerns and their aspirations. So that helps to now build a program that will provide value for them, right? A part of community engagement also includes enhancing participation and representation. So you need diverse voices, right? So women, youths, minorities, all of their voices will form a part of providing you with insight to their needs. And then I want to touch on promoting knowledge sharing and capacity building. I think every program that is geared at community empowerment needs to include workshops, training sessions, peer-to-peer learning. Maybe not all, but at least that needs to be a part of it, right? And this is how I think we can facilitate collaborative problem solving, advocacy, and some collective action. This will also strengthen social cohesion and resilience. So it wouldn't be that, you've started a program for 6 months, and then after 6 months, you've moved on, and the community is there, to kind of pick up the pieces and wonder where to go next because the program isn't sustainable, right? So I've gone through the first funnel, and I think the second funnel I want to touch on would be lifelong learning. A lot of times when we go into these communities, we find, especially communities that are impoverished, we find that there is a large volume of older folks, older people that either don't have access to technology, or some of them are not very literate, right? And a lot of times they take part in a program, but they haven't fully benefited from that program because there's an unmet need of literacy that no one cared to kind of touch on. And so I would want to say lifelong learning is very important in terms of knowledge acquisition. We should ensure that there is some part of the program that will equip the participants with the base knowledge they need to be successful in the program that they're now a part of, right? And these lifelong opportunities, again, could include programs such as workshops, training, community classes, and these will enable individuals to acquire practical skills relevant to their personal and professional lives. And so if you are doing something in farming or beekeeping, you need to ensure that the participants are able to kind of understand the discipline behind what they're doing, even if it's a basic knowledge as opposed to the outcome. Because sometimes I think as NGOs, we measure successful outcomes by just number of participants, but not necessarily getting down to the nitty-gritty of the value that was provided to each individual person. And I think lifelong learning helps in that regard. Right? When you empower people through education, it promotes a sense of empowerment by instilling confidence in them. There's an amount of self-efficacy that comes about, and they are able to acquire new knowledge and skills, having taken part in whatever program you've introduced at the grassroots levels to these participants. Right? And again, very important, as a part of lifelong learning, there should be social cohesion and inclusion. So lifelong learning can be for teens, women, minorities, older folks. Yes? And then I've gone through 2 funnels and I move into the third. And the third one would be social equity. So if you're doing community empowerment, then social equity is important. Again, we can't stress it enough, inclusivity and participation. We need to ensure that all community members, regardless of their background or their circumstances, have the opportunity to participate in the decision-making process. right? So everyone's voice should be valued. So even if you're not the teenager that will be part of a program, but you're a parent, you have a say. So you're able to say, okay, I notice in my community, this is what is happening with teens. We have early pregnancy. We have, all of these things that are happening. And so a program that benefits my teenager in this way would work. And that is the power of collective voices, right? There needs to be a reduction of disparities. So when it comes to social equity, we should aim as NGOs or persons who work at the grassroots level to reduce disparities in inequalities based on factors such as race, ethnicity, gender, disability, and status, right? So by addressing these areas, no matter what your program is, remember I said whether it's peace and security or farming, these things are still important consideration when developing your program, right? And through social equity, I think you can build trust and solidarity. And you need that if you want to sustain a program that you have introduced at the grassroots level, right? Social equity is essential for sustainable development because it ensures development efforts benefits all segments of the population, especially those that are vulnerable and disadvantaged. So when we promote inclusive and equitable development policies and practices, then social equity helps to build up community, and that is how it contributes to community empowerment. And then my last funnel, my fourth funnel, is economic development. And this includes job creation and income generation. I believe it does not provide full value sometimes when you introduce a program, but persons who are poor, they're unable to earn from it. So if it is to be sustainable, and it goes without saying, you're working in a poor community, then persons are looking at how they can manage their needs and they can pay for their basic needs. And so if you have them in a program, yes, all the other funnels that I've mentioned, they're very important: social equity, lifelong learning, but none of those can directly contribute immediately to them earning. Long-term, yes. But right now, if you've introduced a farming project, how is it going to benefit the persons on the ground? And so it's important that if you can, as much as you can, you include as a part of that program something that is geared to job creation and income generation. And that is how you are able to affect the sustainability of your project, because you have now taught this person in the community how to fish. You've not just given them a fish. And so they are able now to continue that process. And you are able to also do your model over again in another community. That is what we've been doing. In Trinidad and Tobago, we worked with the CLOTS community, where we helped young women for 6 months and we registered businesses for them. Some of them were interested in baking, etc. And some of those businesses are still operating today. And then now that I am working in Jamaica, I am remodeling some of those programs as well, starting out though with technology. And so when you talk about economic empowerment, it means that you want to attract more business to the community. So you support entrepreneurship and investing in the local industries and communities. All the stakeholders that have a say. So government ministries that have to do with agriculture or fisheries, you are reaching out to them to also support with grants that can enable persons in the community to start earning. So they don't just see the program as a program where they are only going to get knowledge to be used in the future, but they are able to now begin to earn, being that, they want to help to support their families, etc. So some amount of research, I think, needs to go into our programs to see how we can add an aspect that includes entrepreneurship, includes economic development, right, in community empowerment. And I think that's it for me. I hope you got the 4 funnels that I mentioned. One was economic development. The other was lifelong learning, social equity, and the 4th was community engagement. So thank you very much. And I want to thank Dr. Thakur for this invitation. It is my pleasure to be a part of this meaningful panel discussion. And, it's just a pleasure to be here. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Stacey. That was brilliant. That was really, really beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you for all of the amazing work that you're putting into the work that you do. Thank you so much. Thank you. Please, does anybody have a question for Stacey, a contribution? Please do well to share. Anybody, questions, comments, contributions, collaboration opportunities? Please go ahead and share. Okay, Stacey, did you drop your contact details?
Yes, I shared my LinkedIn up earlier, but I'll share it again.
Okay, please do. Please do share it
Will
again.
do. Thank you.
I think there's a message from. Okay, so Williams Jackson says, who will the contact be to provide services in training and workshops, please?
Oh, that can be us. All right, I'll drop my website, and also I'll drop my LinkedIn again.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. All right, so does anybody have any other questions, comments, contributions, collaboration opportunities for Stacey? Please do also share them. Okay. All right, so in the absence of that, I think we'll have to move over to the next.
Hi, Stacey.
Okay. Hi,
Hi,
Monica.
yes.
Thank you so much for your presentation. And I'm really want to congratulate you for whatever you are doing. That work require a lot of courage and the kind of work you're doing. Yeah. So first of all, congratulations to you. And I want to understand, are you only in Jamaica or you want to expand, and how you want to go about it? What are your plans?
Well, my plans are to expand. I am looking to support NGOs that want a development and marketing aspect to the work they do, to include the 4 funnels that I just mentioned earlier. I am a development consultant, so that is my paid job, right? So I usually look at my nonprofit work through those lenses. And so I have an MA in media practice for development and social change. So whenever I begin to look at projects, I usually look at how can it be sustainable from a position of benefiting those that we have really gone out to help. So if there is an NGO in any country, really, that wants that kind of support and partnership, where, for example, they are applying for a grant and they are trying to find out, how do I add an element of lifelong learning to it? Or how do I add an element of social equity? Those kind of things. Then I'd love to be able to support on that project. If in Kenya or any other nation that is present here, you are looking to do work in the Caribbean, so your project goes beyond just where you are, but you're looking at the wider Commonwealth. So the African Commonwealth, the Caribbean Commonwealth, I would be happy to also support if there's an on-the-ground project that includes things like schools or orphanages or community-based organization, right? So those are some of the things that you can contact me for. So certainly we are interested in working in other countries outside of the Caribbean region. A part of my role as well, I do a lot of training in terms of development, sales, marketing, and things like that. So if your project that you're working on has a component where you want your team to be trained in a certain area, maybe public relations, community engagement, then we would be happy to also look at a program like that to be able to assist. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, Stacy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Kabine from Sierra Leone. Stacy, thank you for your presentation. Jamaica and Australia are bilateral when you trace the history of the colonial, where the slave trade were settled. You are welcome home. This is your home, Australia is your home. So try to do that tracing, the big research for you. Based on your presentation, I'm very happy and I appreciate you. As you know, just like my colleague Monica was saying, we are open up. We are a development country, low development country, and then we need more expansion to our country. We have our NGO, which we are creeping to stand up, and we need partner who can boost up to be in that higher height. There's a lot of, when you look at the global analysis, when you talk about Australia, at times it's even difficult to find on the global mapping. That means this is a country that is very, very, people live below $1 a day. Up to 80% of the population live below $1. So with your social intervention and your development skills, which I also study, I started my first degree in development education. So when you talk about that, it's a louder venture for me that I've met my co-partner, which we can push together and then support the West Africa, which is your trace. If you can push your, just look at me, and also you just like we are similar, in terms of, let me open the video so that you can see we are fairly black. And so that means that this is your trace from Africa, especially West Africa. So we are open, and my contact is there. You can follow up. Our organization is boosting really women. We are focusing on community women, how we can empower them to change their life, how their children can transform in educational capacity. And when you watch my organization, that is why I call farmers, because the farming system is an exponential growth on my life story, from a poor farmer to a professor. So, these are exponential growth, is a movement. So that is why I name as a way of giving back to my people also, by naming my organization as a farming organization that empower, give courage. That it doesn't mean whether you come from a poor farming, a subsistence farming, doesn't mean you cannot talk to international or global level. It depends to you. If you determine, you can change your life, you can change the nation, you can change the globe. So you are highly welcome for your expansion, and we can exchange contact. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Stacy.
Yes, a very inspiring talk, Stacy. Thank you very much for sharing your ideas and your not ideas, but your practical work. Very interesting, very enthusiastic. And thank you for also people who have joined here, showing their respect and also their intention to partner with each other. So that is what really matters. What I see here, we are all having something in common, that we want to develop capacity. And here what we are, of course, this theme is also on capacity empowerment or for communities. But what I am saying that, each and every activities, of course, the question in the last theme when it was like last talk, when it was raised about beehive, that how we can understand whether it is contributing to carbon emissions or not. And that is the question that we must all have in our mind, that how our activities are contributing to carbon emissions. Because that is the way we want to move forward. Like if we are within the climate change scenario 1.5 degree, then we will be able to continue our development and also continue our activities as such, and also be able to facilitate the equity between all the domains that we are looking forward. And therefore we the of course we have to change our practices, but we also need to understand them from the carbon emission perspective, that are we decreasing or increasing carbon emission with that change. And so everyone who are doing in this area, probably we are focusing on, sometimes, as you mentioned, we are focusing on quantitative measures, like looking at how many people we engaged and so on, and we may lose our our attention to qualitative measure. But again, in other places, what happens that we focus on qualitative measure and we forget or we do not have attention to quantitative measures. So everywhere in each and every activity, I think we have to put both the methods together and also triangulate and also be critical about that how we can improve it. So if those things are happening, then I think we will be able to move very effectively. Thank you. So yeah, thank you very much. Now, who is the next? Ekomobong?
Yeah.
Who is next?
We don't have somebody else that indicated privately or in the chat, except somebody just wants to speak now. We're supposed to have Samson. I don't know if he's ready now. Samson, are you ready now? Dr. Renuka, your microphone is muted.
Yes, I can see he is here, and he may take the opportunity to speak now.
Samson, are you ready now? Oh. Okay, I think we'll just open the floor for any other person who wants to share. Any other person who wants to share? You have a discussion, you have a question. Okay, Sharma. Yes, Sharma, please go ahead. Do you want to introduce yourself, your institution, before sharing?
Yeah, but we also have Khaled waiting to deliver his presentation, okay?
Sorry, take that again. Who did you say?
We also have Professor Khaled wanting to deliver his presentation.
Okay. All right.
So who's going next?
I should do start or I don't know.
Yes, Professor Khaled, you can start.
Yes, please.
Okay. Yes, thank you. Once again, I'm so sorry because the camera issues, but it's very important for me to share actually with the screen, and then I'll let you know about me what I have to do. Here, please, I will share my screen. I hope it will be good. Just a moment. Still long? Yeah. Got it? Have you seen my screen now?
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
yes, your screen is visible.
Okay. Just a moment. I will see the slideshow mode. Yeah, I think now it's already good. Yes, about me, my name is Khalid Hamid. I'm calling from Egypt. And also about my position, I'm a member in T4 Education and also professional development in international and American education, technology, and AI, and also top member in multilingual translator in Global Digital Library, and also a member in International Teacher Association. And also there, my position, I'm Global Director of Education and also ITA International Project Manager, and also member in Mobile Learning Week in UNESCO since 2017. I'm so lucky to do that because it's really focused on digital learning and mobile learning and everything like this. And also I start now, I'm so happy to become one of the member of the Global Sustainability Future Network to be able to share my project as multilingual and music and computer science. Thank you, Dr. Renuka, because that's a good opportunity. She gave it to me. I'm so happy to do that. And also about also this global organization by Dr. Renuka, I became also member in Global Power Empowering for Youth. That also you can also contact with me, all youth around the world, especially in Africa, to do all activity, especially in music and yeah, graphics, everything like this, all thing fun for youth. I can also support for that as I am member in Global Power by Dr. Hanuka also. And also that is the summit I was attended. That was a really amazing summit in Pakistan. I'm so happy to share something there. And also I still contact with the all people in Pakistan to share something for my project. I'm so happy to do that also. And also that's the global event in Egypt. Thank you, Dr. Nukadu. Every time you around Africa, that's amazing from you actually. I'm so happy to do that. It was a global event in Egypt also for women empowering. It was amazing. I attended also that. It's very well. About me, actually, I'm actually start create my project since more than 10 years. Until when I was in WISE in Qatar, I was discuss about my project, how I can create project to be support for education to all youth around the world. Actually, about me, I started as music teacher in international school since many years ago. It was 1999. And that's also until that moment, I was thinking about to support my students in international school, because in international school, you can see many different countries in my school. I said I was thinking about how I can support my students there to learn many things to support my students from many countries. I create this project. I started to create it since 10 years ago. I'm lucky now because now it will be now ready to share it. My project about multilingual and music curriculum and computer science. About the multilingual, it's really it's very important for especially in Africa, because as, Africa they have local, But if the youth and students in Africa, if they want to become as a global students or international connection with the people from all over the world, they must grow with the languages, because the local languages is not support them well if they contact. Then they must know more languages, who active languages around the world, and they learn it. For this point, I was focused to create this project to support our students in Africa. And also, that is about my project. It's a new project about multilingual and also music curriculum and computer science. That's what I will deliver. The languages I will giving in my project about teaching Arabic, English, Dutch, German, French, Spanish, Italian, Chinese, and Russian. And also yesterday I had a very beautiful summit by Colombia and Latin America. It was amazing. Was support my project digital learning in the summit for more than 4 million students in Latin America by a special platform, and also Brazilian TV. It was showing by TV and Facebook and YouTube. It was amazing. And also all students were active with my project to learn multilingual. That was amazing. And that's what I want to do also in Africa. And also that's about for example, that's the sentence for about the multilingual, how I can teach that in multilingual. For example, if you see like this, it's that simple sentence. It's English. You can read it. All of you can read it. It's very simple. But if you can read it that in Arabic, you cannot be able to read it. That I solve the phonetics. How can deliver the Arabic languages to all students? They don't talk Arabic. Of course, they not start reading the Arabic letters. They have to know how they read the Arabic, or how they can be able to talk Arabic, and then they can be able to learn phonetics and reading, and it will be very easy. Here I for example, I just a moment. I did focus this for this to support learning how you can read Arabic in Latin letters. If you read Latin letters, you get the right reading in Arabic. For example, هذا أستاذي اسمها المعلمة أكني. هي اسمها أكن هي تحبنا كثيرا. Okay, and also the same also in Chinese languages. Also, you cannot read these letters from beginning. I also solve. I can well read it because I learned these languages to be able how I can teaching Chinese language. I solve this also because there is another letter like this. You can also following reading in Latin writing, and then you get how you can talk Chinese, and then you can be able to learn how you read the standard letters from Chinese. For example, if you read it now, you can get it also the same translate English sentence in China. How you see that? But also when you read the Chinese in Latin writing, you have to know also how you can editing the accent of reading is not so like English. No, for example, everyone, I think you was trying to read it, but when I read now, you see something different for how you read it. That's what I will do support for teaching to students how they can read Chinese. For example, if you see start like this, for example, you can see 是我的老师，他教英语，老师他放上我们。Now, maybe you see different when you try to read it, because here there is a special accent. That's what I will teach the students, how they can follow this, and they can also continuous learning. And also about the Russian languages, what I do also for Russian languages, also the same. If you see that from beginning, you cannot read the alphabet in Russian. I can do well for myself because I learned the languages. But I do the same. I teach you how you can talk Russian, and then you can be able to read the alphabet. What I solved for this also is the same. I use the Latin writing to letters. You can be able to following reading how you can talk Russian. For example, if you try to read it, I will read now with you, and then you see what is the difference. Это мой hostel, я завод hostel anche. On нас hosting lopit. Yeah, that's also the phonetics for this. But I think Italian, it's cool for everyone can read it because it's closer from France. You can also read it. It will be available for you to learn it because you can read questo è il mio gente si chiama gente acne li chiama molto. It's easy. It's not so difficult. And also, I think French, it's very easy for you because some countries in Africa, they already can talk French. And also, what about Spanish? Also, it's the same because we have 3 languages the same together in the same letters: French, Spanish, and Italian. That's also the same. If you can talk French, you can be able to learn Spanish and Italian. That's no problem about this. About German, a little bit, maybe there is different a little bit with the phonetics in German. Also, I will teach you that's not so different between Dutch, because German and Dutch the same. It's a little bit different, but it's the same. You can also get learning from the phonetics between Dutch and German. For example, that Dutch, you can also read it. If you know how you read it, it will be easier for you. For example, that's Dutch. You can see like dit is mijn leraar. Haar naam is leraar. Anke, ze houdt veel van ons. It's easier. You can follow. About the music also, because I have in my project 3 kinds of topics in my project. That's the second topic, the music curriculum. What about music curriculum? About music curriculum, I will teach all kind of instrumental. And I sure in Africa, because I'm sitting in Egypt and I know exactly how much the difficult learning with the music, because by myself, I teach it. I traveled, I was in Netherlands, I was in USA, in Boston, I was in also faculty of music. I learned a lot from, because I talented in music. Music is not so easy. No, it's difficult learning. I create simple plan for music to let the students also learn so quick. I teach piano, I teach all kind of guitars and drum and all styles, also like classic music, blues, jazz, rock music and Arabic music and all more styles, all that. And also in short time, because already I know exactly how I can start in music teaching. Here also, if you see some example for my students here, they are in grade 6. How much amazing from my students in the normal classroom, not music room. I have active board, just I share with them how they following my lesson plan in tablet. If I have 30 students in the same class, you don't notice any noise because they use technology with learning. They on tablet with headphones and they played piano. Nobody listen, only everyone listen on device, and they create also lesson plan because they know exactly how they can compose music. That's exciting. That's very well. That's what I do that for all Africa. I hope to start soon. And also about computer science, about more than 60 program in computer I can deliver in my project. Because there is end for computer. There is a lot of programs, a lot of hardware, software. Yeah, it's crazy. How now we talk about artificial intelligence. How we can start with AI and we don't know anything or don't know more about the computer science. That yeah, I start in computer science actually more than 25 years. That's my position in computers, how I can be professional for myself, how I can work in computer until now, because that I deliver my project in AI. It will be coming soon, support for all over the world. You see chat GPT, it's yeah, it's something, yeah, it's amazing. We talk about this, how we can create new lesson plan for students through technology. And also, let me also share this. Also, that's there are my students in music. They are activity in they like in activity in music. And also, when I was in event also in Botswana, I was contacted with the youth from different Africa. How much they are lovely students and they need support. For this, I'm sure my project will support them. I am not stop for sharing my project until the only students in Africa will become grow in knowledge in music and multilingual and computer science, and they able to do that. And here, if you see that's that is the Colombia and Latin America, that is the organization I started with them since last year. Every month I have summit. That's I'm talking about. Yeah, it's now we're already working in Latin America and Colombia. Now, what about Africa? Just to have to start for Africa. And here also, I traveled around the world more than 20 countries. I was in Singapore 3 times, also about the technology, how we can support education in technology. It's amazing. This global organization from UK, actually, that are lovely people. I contacted with them since 2017 until now. And also I was in France, like a member in Mobile Learning Week, and also in China. I was in China 3 times, also a big event in international conference artificial intelligence. For that, I'm so curious about that. I was also in Denmark for this global event, and also in Africa. I was in Zimbabwe by United Nations. It was a very, very wonderful event. Yeah, and also I was in Washington to support also for my project, and also in Boston for music, how I can create music online to share my project. Yeah, and also I was in Canada. Yeah, that's something about me. It's not all. I'm so sorry for long time to long sharing, but I would like to share what I have. That's not all, but I hope I can start soon to deliver what I have for all my lovely students in all Africa. Thank you for this opportunity to share my project. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Professor Khalid. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let me see the chats. Okay, thank you.
Just add that Professor Khalid is very enthusiastic person and very engaging. He has supported most programs of Gsfn, and he's also an ambassador for speech from Egypt. And this March 15, he recorded our Empower Her project for his speech on World Speech Day. So thank you very much for your support. And we would like to support him wherever we can, with especially with his intention to increase the literacy in whatever the language you have, or becoming multilingual. Becoming multilingual is very important. I started Gsfn. My first encounter of imagining such an network was with Brazil, and I had to learn some few, like I wanted to learn full language, but I have not been able to do that. But still, I started listening and learning Portuguese language, and that has been a real uh, beneficial to me, by so that I can engage with Brazilians who cannot speak English and who are really experts in their own domains. So it opens your possibility of engagement throughout the world if you know at least 3 or 4 languages. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Please, I touched also in chat post the video for World Speech Day. Thank you for your support, Dr. Anuka. Enjoy the video, please, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Professor Khalid. Thank you. Thank you. Does anybody have a question, comments, contribution? Any opportunities for collaboration? Any, please raise your hand if you do. Okay. In the absence of any other, I think we had one speaker. We had Shama, Vatsal Shama. Are you still there?
Yeah.
All right. Please introduce yourself. You have the floor.
Yeah. So I'm a mechanical engineer by profession. I'm a working profession as of now, and I've been connected with CDS Kenya for around, I think, 4 years now, but as a volunteer. I think we started as a team that had just to, look about from where we can gather funds for grant raising and proposals. And then along with Peter, I think we ventured on into, project planning and domains like targeting high network individuals. And then things led to one another. And then I am currently attempting to establish a trade negotiation between CDS Kenya and international coffee company that I had worked for as a freelancer consultant uh, for around 6 months. So basically, what I wanted to talk about was community empowerment through fair chain methods and fair chain business model. In short, if I would like to summarize what fair chain would be, is basically that, let us say, the company that I want CDS Kenya to, get into contact and get into a proper negotiation with, is the world's first fair chain business model company. What they basically are trying to do is, uh, we all have companies all over the world which, import their raw material from a place and they do their packaging at some other place, but yet almost all of the companies, the major share of revenue goes into the final headquarters of that company, which usually is more, in the Western countries. Of course, we can have their guidance and, their technological advancements, but through Fairchain, what is happening is Moi Coffee is trying to, bring the focus back on the countries which actually grow these beans, grow those raw material products. So rather than like, let's say, for a $1 earned, rather than just, getting done with paying 25 or 30 cents per dollar to the actual producer and farmer, what they are trying to do is, and even many other companies in fair chain domain are trying to do is, they're trying to bring that number up to 50 or a 60, so that till packaging, all those manufacturing activities are done in that country which is actually growing this bean. So as an economic impact, I have from farming to packaging to roasting, farming, roasting, processing, and then packaging. My final cost of only storage comes to my whichever country I'm selling my goods in. Through fair chain business model, MOI has been able to give uh, at least around 30 to 40% rise in income to the actual coffee bean grower in Ethiopia and Kenya. We are trying for CDS Kenya also to get into that list. They obviously have a lot of quality parameters, in their domain that needs to be met in order to become an international coffee supplier. But yeah, my focus was on as a community, and since we are all for sustainability and community empowerment, somewhere what I did feel was during all these years I felt was that there has to be a difference in the definition of sustainability for each community and country. Let us say uh, a country that is primarily standing on agriculture, primarily is a producer economy in, let us say, Southeast Asia or the African continent. We cannot and we must not talk about sustainability in the same terms of, in the same definition of what is applicable to a economy that is already considered to be grown. I think what I practically mean to say is that once, of course, nature and sustainable development has to go hand in hand in order to conserve the very own community and the very own fabric of nature of that land where everything is, growing. But what I do find is sometimes we tend to, due to various reasons, due to various practical reasons like technology or funding, but yeah, we do tend to adopt the direct definitions of sustainability and uh, notions like sustainable development and better agriculture or technology advancements just because they have been already made somewhere else. Let us say even when we talk about fair chain, what I'm trying to convey to all as a community is that be it anything, we can try, at least one part of us can try that, in terms of economical development or food security or community resilience, we should be focusing on making our own community self-sufficient. Once we are able to do that, self-sufficient in the terms of at least one domain or one crop or two crops that form our basic staple diet, by let's say by just a little bit more focus, by just a little bit more of networking, we can very readily bring a much more better income to those local communities if we are able to adopt fair chain methods, fair chain business companies as a community. Let's say for the same crop that a farmer is growing in any region of Kenya or Ethiopia, given that I have cleared all my legal processes and clearances that I require, if I'm able to get one deal done, if I'm able to complete one negotiation that gives those farmers around 40% better price on their crop, unwillingly and unknowingly, I am actually laying the foundation of a better community resilience and a much better community empowerment. Those funds, irrespective of what mechanism they follow, can improve the lifestyle of the people, can improve the education in the area, because at the end of the day, almost all of our domains in combine and overlap to the one domain, that one factor that leads all of the operations of this sector, that comes to funding. If, let us say, in any capacity of ours, if we are able to uh, propagate and encourage the able people of a community to take up more of freelancing work, or take up any notions of at least cold emailing people that, or brands that you see that are famous all around, we can very easily bring the corporate CSR, the entire bracket of the activities that all the MNCs do in name of CSR with passion or otherwise, we can at least try and maximize that we as a community in a non-first world country get a good share of those funds. Uh, like it's in practical terms, let us say any brand that I see in my own country, in my own society, it takes around 15 minutes or 30 minutes to understand where that company is, how the company works basically, and what is its basic operation, like what exactly where their factory is, where their HQ is. And then giving out one cold email that we would just like to connect and have an opportunity to assess, like this is something that you need in your business, this is something that I have that I'm able to grow, or my community is able to grow. Even if we try in 500 or 1000 cold emails, if at least 5 of them translate, we can still bring a lot of change by that. It's much more easier to talk about community empowerment when we can just say, okay, yes, we should do this or we should do that, we should share our resources. But in practical terms, it's not that easy for a society to share everything in a very shared basis, or in that manner, when it comes to end of the day, when you need to look out for yourself also. So what I'm basically trying to say is, as a community that is graced and lucky enough to have education, to be able to understand and comprehend resources that are at disposal at our end, but we know that we are somewhere a bit much more, we are a bit more enabled than the rest of the community that is around us. I think all of us should try to give back to that community that we belong to that society that we belong to. And the best way possible that I usually think is education, yes, but before education comes a rise in income. While it's easier to say that making a community's income rise by any percentage is a very tremendous task, but at least if all of us can give around 30 minutes a week also, just to just look back from wherever you belong, just see where if those people are having any issues that you can solve, or any produce that they have, any services that that community offers, but they are not aware of the opportunities that the world has to give. If we are lucky enough to have internet at our disposal, we are connected from people all across the world as of now. I can easily assume all of us belong to at least 15-20 different countries. I think it comes to us to, at least try to, initiate that talk with relevant stakeholders where, we can understand each other's needs, and selectively then try that, if something can be done for each other. I think community empowerment is not just based on if I belong to one geographic community or not. There are cultures all over the world that, have embraced the idea that the world is one family now. So I believe that what CDS Kenya is doing, what this summit aims to do, is a very, very great, step in that path, that we can come all together and at least try from our side, in whatever sector we belong to, in whatever domain we belong to, that if we can connect two people that are in need of each other, they just don't know that they both exist, but if we can be any sort of mediator, if we can get them to talk about their products and services, I think that is my way of doing one small bit of community empowerment. And I think, yeah, it's not just up to organizations. People make those organizations. And once we as people start taking those small initiatives, just like, 5 mails a week to whoever, you think is relevant to your community, that has a prospective chance to, improve the situation back at your home, at your society, I think that would lead to a great amount of change. And I'm very grateful that I got this opportunity and platform to convey this idea. about doing community empowerment not as a community but as an individual, by being a beacon of optimism that it's up to us, whoever is who has internet, who has a basic education in today's age. It's up to us to take that initiative to give back to the society that we connect to, or the society that we care for, in whichever format that we can, be it rise in income, be it freelancing, volunteering your time for education, or any sort of other things. And I think what this organization is doing is a very great task, a very great favor to all of us, by bringing us on this platform, so we can understand each other's needs and get to know each other. And let's say of all of us talk to each other, if there is only one person, and if there's one pair of two people that have successfully networked and understood their needs for their community. And I personally would think that this summit is it is an absolute success, even if one person can find another person from this platform, and we can make any kind of good change back in our societies, or even otherwise in any geography for that matter. I thank you a lot for this opportunity and platform. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pastor Sharma. I hope I got that correctly. Amazing. I particularly like your last point, saying that even if it's just one person, so long as we keep up with the spirit of collaboration, I believe that we can achieve the change and the environmental sustainability that we're looking forward to. Thank you very much for sharing such brilliant presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vikas. Very inspiring and very open, broad vision you have and you have shared. And that has inspired me to share something more of Gsfn, what we have in place. Mobang, Bong,
yes.
Can you confirm, is there any still speaker there? Otherwise, I can continue with some a short presentation.
Okay, let me confirm that. No, there's none.
Okay, thank you. So I will share a few things about Gsfn so people know more about it and how we support this broad vision. So here, this is a part of one presentation I did, and I would like to say, in this world at the moment, we are, can you see my presentation, right?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so in this world, what is happening, that there within the future, or current and the future scenarios will be something like we will be having a complexity of social construction and like influence of social construction and influence of growing technologies. And what has happened that in the this black part shows all our social aspects, and these other parts which are in white, they show our digital aspect or technological aspects. So you can see internet is growing, social connections through internet and online things are growing. We are having mobile use, we are having cloud technology, big data is emerging, and we have to understand the analytics and so on. Each material now, we used to have a pattern for that, and we used to create out of different materials and so on. But now that can go into 3D printing, where you can even create a house from 3D printing and so on. Renewable energy is needed, Internet of Things is needed. So these are all technologies coming into play with our social. Now, where social aspects. So in these social aspects, we have plenty of things like population growth, falling in working age population, because we are getting older, but we also want to, fall in working age population because of the disease and health concerns, but also due to the loss of jobs due to automation. Also, there is a rise of independent workers, like everyone wants to become entrepreneur, and that is where it is. So we are having plenty of different models, business models, and innovative ideas. At the same time, there is a decline in fertility rates. There is an increased lifespans as well, because so we have to now support percentage of old people more than what we used to do. So working class is less, and the people to be supported as a children and old people, elder people is high. And so there is a mismatch of how we bring the sources in for this support. Then technological, of course, as I mentioned, there is automation. And so we are going towards employment a lot. And emerging middle class now, there is a huge inequality between high income and low income. And then in between that, there is a middle class who are just trying to meet their needs every day, and are in such a stress that they should continue living and so on. So that is where is middle class. And there is a generational differences. There's a lot being changed between the thinking of older generation and current generation. So these are plenty. And here on this also, you can see there is a many different aspects of these two combinations, which is like human two, so there are definitions and activities being involved in what should be, what you consider as food, how do you source it, what is the need of food, and so on. So like each and every aspect of food, work, clothing is thought about. The concepts are thinking really before some time. Food, education, clothing, they were just the need. Like, okay, we need that and we have to do it. But now they are sometimes considered as a pleasure, sometimes considered as a career pathway, sometimes they are considered as essentials, and so on. So there are different now concepts and definitions for each of every these things that we encounter in our life. And therefore you can see that there are plenty of different complex concepts being overlapping and conflicting between each other. Fine. Then I can say that when we look at it, what is happening here now, if we look only the phrases in white color, fall in working age population, but at the same time there is decline in fertility rates, and then there is technological unemployment and aging population. So you can see there is a mismatch of plenty of things in social aspects due to these technological interventions. So, and this has been clearly seen in COVID phase. We saw that largest profit-making airplanes went down, declined their profit margin and their income, whereas the Zoom, the technological device that was that came in play was Zoom, and its shares increased up to 129%. So you can see very drastic changes happening due to the technologies and the social constructions and the disease and other, what do you say, disasters. Like COVID was a type of disaster or a break, or you can say just like an emergency, just as we are not still thinking of climate change emergency, but it can happen due to climate change. These things can happen. Okay, so that is what the idea is. And therefore, we have to have a very, very wide vision. And the vision that Vikas explained just now, that is what we also have. I have already mentioned in that video. But here again, and very particularly, I want to say, creating an inclusive, collaborative, and engaging platform. And why I focused on early career researchers, because they come out with very fresh, perspective. They have studied that perspective for 3 years, and so they are coming out with fresh perspective, and therefore we want to have their perspective in the society. And therefore, we should have a very, very broad vision. It should be bold, but also at the same time, it should be flexible. And that is why here also you could have seen that sometimes you feel that, oh, there is no structure. But we have deliberately not taken any structural, we have not put any structure, because that would bind us or limit us by that structural boundaries. And therefore, we do not have a structure. However, I'll come to what I have. And what has happened that with this type of platform, it has allowed people to share their vision, and each and everyone is allowed to share their vision here, or their culture or their beliefs. That is what we are encouraging. And that can lead to the onset of leadership in someone who speaks. Each one who speaks here feels that, okay, I have the floor to speak and I am a leader here. And again, this is very much tuned into what I already mentioned, that we want to result into true collaborative and shared knowledge platform where people would be thinking together and working together to solve problems. So here I come that how we can then deliver this type of framework or platform. And, generally in leadership is the biggest thing that can lead people or allow people to follow a good concept or good idea or good vision, And so generally what traditionally is happening, that people in authority show their vision and others follow. Of course, that is good at times, but what happens that the people at ground level or who are following may feel that there is a limitation and they may not be allowed innovative ideas. Secondly, when we go individual, we are very innovative. We have our individual space, but then also it is still not completely collaborative. Each one has an idea and they stand independent. And then let us see what collective activity can happen. It can only happen when, each and every leader works together, collaborate with each other for the highest level of collaborative activity. And currently, we have a big collaborative challenge, that is climate change and achieving sustainable development goals. So having that highest value in mind, we can collaborate with each other, and that would be interdependent collaborative leadership. And this type of leadership, what happens that it allows self-leadership, like you all can grow as your own leader. And it also allows, when we are in such an environment, it allows us to learn from one another. So it is like coach-like engagement. And it is also interdependent collaboration, that one activity is dependent on another and we can collaborate. We have a space to join our efforts, and then that can result into cultural leadership that is transformative innovation. And so it can build, develop, embed, and assess the situation properly. Having said that, how we introduce such a collaborative leadership. And what we have done, we have introduced a chairship badge. Chair badge is something that we are allowing people to tell us 6 elements. And these are unique for each one of you. So you have to select one SDG out of 17 SDGs. Then you have to select domain out of 4 domains, which is research, education, and community and enterprise. I suppose your activities can fall into any one of the 4 domains. Then you have to select level, and that could be global, country level, sectoral level, indigenous level, tribal level, and so on, like school level or high school level, and whatever you might be feeling that you are strongly contributing that level. And then you are allowed to give 3 very specific words that describes your activities. And these all 6 elements make you a unique chair. When we receive your first application, when you put the form to join GSFN, we ask these 6 elements, and we make sure that these 6 elements are not repeated for anyone. And so you become a unique chair in the world. So you are a leader already when you join Gsfn. And then what we ask you to do, we ask only you to continue doing your work in your activity or your unique space that you have mentioned here. And at the end of the year, we ask you to self-nominate yourself. And again, here also, we do not ask that you completely do all the things for GSFN, but also what impact you have brought on the society in respect to your chairship. And that allows us to understand, you put your some evidence, and we, by face value, we try to understand what you have done. And depending on that, we give out an awards like silver, gold, platinum, and silver, gold, bronze, and platinum award. We also gave 1 green award because that person did not apply, but he is very modest to be always supporting us. And we gave out a green award to him. So that is where I think I will stop. And I thought I would like to share this with whoever don't know what GSFN does. And we have made some structural arrangements to make a collaborative leadership here. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Dr. Renuka. Thank you. Thank you. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you very much. Please, does anyone have questions, comments, contributions? Please do well to share them now. There are lots and lots and lots of collaborative opportunities. I hope that we make the most of every one of them. Please, you can ask your questions in the chat or unmute your microphone and ask.
I would like to say something.
Okay, please go ahead,
Monica.
Yeah. So first of all, I would like to thank Dr. Renuka for giving this platform to all the leaders, volunteers, employees from all over the world. So really thank you so much, actually, from CDS side, because I think this collaboration and partnership will give a very good path to CDS, and I think all the community development services who are working towards sustainability, it will give a good pathway to work towards the right direction, and a good. I think we'll also get good collaboration and partnership through this platform of GSFN, and. So once again, thank you so much to Dr. Renuka and all the other participants for being so patient and listening all of us carefully. And I also want to add that if we combine our expertise across these issues, meaning that if we can tackle energy, agriculture, sanitation, climate resilience within our system and approaches, we'll deliver upon each of these combinations by 2025 through maintaining, creating partnership, working with communities, and in our knowledge to inform and inspire. And together we can contribute to the sustainable development goals and achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. So yeah, here I want to end and thank you so much once again, everyone. And yeah, being a very good leader, I would say, because from here, Dr. Renuka is providing a platform where everyone, each of us can become a leader in future. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for your kind words and also hard work with me.
No, it was a learning actually. Throughout working with you, it was a learning, and yeah, you're a very good leader. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you very, very
And
much.
if everyone is happy, then we can have a group photo
Oh yeah, sure.
and then end. Looks good. We are having still someone like many of you. If you can open your camera, please do. If anyone is struggling to open the camera, you can look at the video sign at the end of your, like bottom of your screen. On left-hand side, you will find, and you have to click on it, then you can open your camera. Wonderful. 3, 2, 1. And I will take another picture for the next screen. Stay there. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you very much. I will
Thank you.
stop the recording and